This episode of Dragon Ball 24/7 podcast is brought to you by KRGB Houston. Go check out their gaming podcast review on their YouTube channel right now. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dragon Ball 24/7. I'm your host, Jesse Goku, and we're going to be talking about two theories. We're going to be talking about why Vegeta didn't use the Dragon Balls to wish back Planet Vegeta and the other Saiyans, and we're going to be talking about a theory that's not really as popular, but has been brought up several times. Why was Goten able to achieve Super Saiyan much faster than Gohan? Now, about the theory as to why Vegeta never brought back the Saiyans and Planet Vegeta goes back to the Frieza saga. Now, when Guru died, Kami was debating with King Kai as to how to use the Dragon Balls. When they wanted to bring back Guru, when they were wishing to bring back all the Namekians, including Guru, Kami thought that Guru died of a natural cause, and the Dragon Balls cannot bring back anyone of a natural that died of a natural cause. But King Kai said that the stress of the situation caused Guru to die of a broken heart. So that means Frieza kind of forced Guru to die. And I can see where that kind of works and that doesn't work. But needless to say, the Dragon Balls could not wish anyone. And Kami clearly states that if the individual has been dead for more than a year, they can't come back to life. Now, keep in mind that a whole year had not gone by since they brought back Goku for the Saiyan saga, to the point where Goku was fighting Frieza. When Kami came back to life, he used his powers to restart the Dragon Balls and make them active again so they could be used, because he knew the gravity of the situation. They were able to use the Dragon Balls to wish back everyone that Frieza and his men killed, minus the group that Vegeta killed, because he was no longer working for Frieza. With that being said, should Nappa have come back to life because Vegeta was working with Frieza at the time? I don't think so, because at that point, when he traveled to Earth, he was no longer working for Frieza. In a sense, he had already betrayed Frieza because he went after the Dragon Balls on Earth to wish for immortality. Before they went into the Frieza saga and introduced Frieza, he wanted to wish for immortality so he could fight forever and never die. But when you go into the Frieza saga, you find out that he wanted immortality for that same situation, but also to dethrone Frieza, because he knew he could never challenge Frieza unless he had immortality. Now, another thing that also about the 1 year rule, I know in Resurrection F they were able to bring back Frieza by attaching his soul to the bits and pieces of his body, and they were able to restore his body from the ground up using the healing chamber on the Frieza ship. I guess when Dende took control of the Dragon Balls, the powers of the Dragon Balls also changed, because before that wouldn't even be possible, because the dragon couldn't bring back anyone that didn't already have a body. They actually had to wish Krillin a new body after Frieza completely obliterated his original body. They wished for a new body for Krillin, and then they attached his soul to them. That's how he was able to be revived. So I guess that's where the 1 year rule comes into play. I guess if you don't have a body, I guess because of decomposition, Shenron can't really attach your soul to that body because the body's dead completely. It can't reanimate. And that's one of the reasons why Shenron will not bring back Planet Vegeta or the Saiyans, because since they've been dead for so long, there's really no point. Plus, it's probably beyond his power anyway. And at this point, I feel like Vegeta's moved on. I think that he's accepted the fact that the Saiyan race is gone, and he's starting his own race of hybrid Saiyans. And he's a good guy now, and the Saiyans are a little bit barbaric because of the way they were. They're brought up to be warriors, people that just fight, and they work for Frieza, so they're initially bad guys. They didn't care for much except for fighting and, dying. That was the whole point of the Saiyan life. That's why I don't think Saiyans lived very long lives, because they would just fight until they died. So it's safe to say that Vegeta at this point will never bring back Planet Vegeta or the Saiyan race. Now, that doesn't mean he won't go to Universe 6 and explore the new Saiyan planet from their universe. But only time will tell with Dragon Ball Super, since the Universe 6 tournament arc is almost over. We're about to get the conclusion this weekend, actually, and we're going to see where they go from here. Now, there are a lot of rumors and speculation going around that future Trunks might be coming back to the series. We'll have to wait and see. And there's a lot of rumors as to who the new antagonist will be. It could be Mira and Toa. It could be Vadus. There's so many theories as to how it can be Vadus, and there's a little bit of evidence pointing that it could be Mira and Toa, but there's actually no evidence. There's no concrete evidence pointing at either group being the villain. Like I said, we will find out as we go into the new arc. Now, the next area I want to go into, Trunks and Goten achieving Super Saiyan, a lot easier than Gohan or Goku or Vegeta or future Trunks. And there is a major plot hole, so bear with me, folks. That's why it's more focused on Goten rather than Trunks, because of the major plot hole. Now, there's a theory going around that when a Saiyan reaches Super Saiyan and they have a child, that child is able to reach Super Saiyan much easier, because it's kind of like, you know, with the human anatomy, like, you know, you inherit traits from your parents. That's why whenever people donate sperm, they want certain qualifications, like you have to be a doctor, you have to have a degree in this field, a degree in that field, because those traits play into the gene pool that is your offspring. That's why that theory kind of makes sense, whereas Goku had already achieved Super Saiyan, so his genes for Goten just made it that much simpler for him to achieve something that was so difficult for them to reach. Plus, it also ties with Gohan's, since Goten and Gohan are hybrids, they're half Saiyan. I feel like the Saiyan blood restricts Saiyans from getting more powerful faster. The humans have gotten stronger at a faster rate. And when I say humans, I mean Goten and Trunks and Gohan, because they're humans, but they're also Saiyans. They're hybrids. Because the Saiyan blood's not there to hold them back, in a sense, they're able to get so much stronger faster, and because they have Saiyan blood, they also have no limit as to how far they can go. And that's why Gohan was so powerful. That's why he reached Super Saiyan 2. That's why Gohan would have outbursts of power where one minute he can't even compete with Frieza in his first form, and the next thing you know, he's fighting Frieza at full power. Goten not only was born after Goku had achieved Super Saiyan, he was half human, thus making it almost too easy for him to reach Super Saiyan. Because, and this is an unproven theory. Remember, these are all theories. None of this, there's evidence pointing towards it, but there's also evidence disproving it. This is all speculation. Unless it comes from the mouth of Akira Toriyama, none of it is canon. Now, that's not to say that fans haven't come up with really good theories with it. I mean, there are some theories that fit really well and have become canon, but overall, everyone can just speculate, and it's up to you to take what we say and either go with it or take something else that someone else said and go with that. Now, with Trunks, that's where the plot hole is, because Trunks was born before Vegeta reached Super Saiyan, but he was still able to achieve Super Saiyan just like Goten, like nothing. So in the Buu Saga, it was made to... Could the theory also apply to Trunks? Are they trying to say that he was born after Vegeta achieved Super Saiyan? Because And and they interviewed Akira Toriyama, and he admitted that he forgot certain things that happened. He forgot about the tail, the Saiyan tail. That's why Trunks didn't have the tail as a baby. I don't think he doesn't plan ahead. He only plans like the next couple of chapters. And at the time, Akira Toriyama was, complaining that he's never done an anime, well, not an anime, a manga that long. Most of his mangas are short because Akira Toriyama is a little bit lazy. That's why with Dragon Ball Super, he's not really making it. He's supervising it and writing the story. But overall, Torotaru writes the manga, where the animation studio also takes care of the anime. And he just kind of like makes the storyboard, and they kind of handle the rest. And he supervises it to make sure it's what he envisions. But at the end of the day, he's not the one doing all the work like he was before. He didn't make the Dragon Ball Z anime. The Dragon Ball Z anime had a different director. He was responsible for the manga, where at this point, he's no longer responsible for the manga. Torotaru is responsible for the manga, and it's a monthly manga instead of a weekly manga, which actually favors Akira Toriyama more in this time around. And I like Dragon Ball Super, I really do. But Dragon Ball, and I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is still my #1 anime of all time. I love it to death. It had a lot of plot holes, and that's one of the plot holes that was in there. And that's the biggest, wrench in the gears of this theory. Kid Trunks also achieving Super Saiyan like nothing, but the fact that he was born before Vegeta had achieved Super Saiyan totally pokes a giant hole into that theory. And it also has to do with Akira not really panning out all the details, because I don't think he didn't know when Dragon Ball was going to end. Every time he wrote a story arc, he always wrote it with the intention of it ending there, but the fans kept the manga alive, they kept the anime alive, and so he continued his work. And you can kind of see, like, in the Buu Saga wasn't that great. He was kind of running out of ideas as to what to do. That's why, to me, the Cell Saga will always be the best arc in the entire Dragon Ball Z series. But the biggest fight was Frieza with Goku, and that's the longest fight in anime history. Yeah, about almost 4 hours long. But, all these theories, unfortunately, there's too many plot holes to have a solid theory. And with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out the KRGB Houston page at their YouTube channel. They actually do giveaways. They do video game podcast reviews. They also do Let's Play videos, reaction videos, unboxing videos, and we're pretty much going to do the same thing. Also, big announcement for this YouTube channel. Sad news, unfortunately. I'm going to discontinue the Word on the Street podcast. I'm going to turn it into a movie, video game, Loot Crate, kind of like a review. I'm going to just review things instead of having it be a blog. I'm going to be focusing more on the Dragon Ball 24/7 podcast. Also, the Geeks 5 Ever podcast keeps getting delayed. And, I want to announce the prize for the Texan cosplayer contest. And that will be with that podcast, with the Geeks 5 Ever official podcast. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of video game streaming, old school video games. We're also going to be doing other things like a trolling podcast and a bad fan fiction podcast. But for my Dragon Ball Z fans, my next video for Dragon Ball Z 24/7, Dragon Ball 24/7 podcast, I'm going to watch the Dragon Ball Fusion trailer. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to do a reaction to that. So check that out, and stay classic.